So, back again with a new course part about spreadsheet design. So, how should you design your spreadsheet to have a pretty or good spreadsheet? So, first of all, don't merge cells. That is very important. And second of all, your Excel starting position will be where you start your spreadsheet or your models will say more about you than some other things. So, and for spreadsheet designs, I have only a few remarks to make. Develop your own design style or adopt the design style of the company you work for. And start a spreadsheet wherever you want. So this funny meme here isn't that important. You can start wherever you want. So as you saw in the task, I start every time in A1. I don't know why. I don't know if I were ever taught to start there or if I choose to do so. But there are also a lot people out there, many people out there starting in B2, for example. So yeah, start wherever you want. And here are a few important remarks. Less is more. You shouldn't spend too much time on the design. Spend it more on the functionality, and your design should be functional and clear. So don't use fancy colors or so on. Make it functional and clear. Even your spreadsheet shouldn't be a canvas of your fancy paintings. It should be functional. And no hard-coded values and formulas. I said that before. You should label cells if possible, for example, with headings, text, and so on. And especially if you have input or output cells, columns, rows, where you have your output result, or you have input cells where you can input values, you should label them. I like my spreadsheet with grid lines, so I recommend to leave the grid lines on. But if you don't like the grid lines and want to have the grid lines turned off, don't make the whole sheet right. Go on page layout, and there you can deselect the grid lines. That is very important to not make the whole table right, because that's the wrong way to turn off the grid lines. You can also fix the top row or the first column also on. Sometimes this can make navigation easier, and you can do that under View and Fix Window. And if you want to have, for example, the first row and the first column, or the first two columns and the first row fixed, that these columns and rows will stay every time above. Also, if you scroll to the right or down below, you can go there. You should place your current position in the cell from which left or top should be fixed, and then press Fix Window under the View Fix Window button there. For example, first rows. For example, there, if you want to have the first two rows and columns A to D fixed, place your position into cell E3 and press then Fix Window under the View ribbon. And you can also unfix this under View Fix Window. And don't merge cells, because this can interfere with formulas and will make a lot of headaches. If you want to have something centered across multiple cells or displayed across multiple cells, use center across selection and not merge the cells. Very important. So with this, we are at the end of our spreadsheet design video. Thank you for attention. The next video will be the closing remarks for the advanced course.